Hey, Rise and Thrive Nation. Welcome to the second day of our 3-day course, Hustle with Heart, How Emotion Fuels Real Success. Yesterday, we talked about some of the reasons why high achievers find themselves stuck, burnt out, lonely, and sometimes all three at once. And today, I want to share with you the solution, which is how to use your emotions as fuel instead of roadblocks. First, we're going to move and groove to an anthem that reminds us that our feelings are powerful allies, not enemies. And then we're going to dive into our daily prompt, so you can actually do this work yourself. So let's get into it. So right now I want you to close your eyes and listen to these words. We've burned through excuses. We've built devotion. Now we go deeper, because beneath every delay is an emotion you haven't faced yet. Your hustle doesn't ignore pain. It works with it. Real leaders don't bypass emotion. They metabolize it, feel it, honor it, lead from it. Your emotions aren't obstacles. They're sacred signals. Anger is energy. Grief is depth. Joy is alignment. When you honor your emotions, you reclaim your power. You stop apologizing. You stop pretending. You start leading with soul, not survival. And as we step into today's practice, I invite you to think about a place where you've been feeling stuck lately, a situation you keep putting off, or a feeling you keep suppressing. It could be anything from resentment toward a family member to fear about the future or excitement about a new opportunity. Today's practice is all about bringing awareness to those emotions and asking how we can work with them rather than against them. So grab your journal, light a candle, get comfortable, and take a deep breath in and out. And now let's jump into our prompt. Okay, hunches. The first part of today's prompt is to get clear on what emotion you'd like to work with today. This might be obvious. Maybe there's an emotion you've been actively trying to avoid, or maybe it's something you haven't really named or acknowledged yet. So my invitation to you is to ask yourself, what emotion have I been avoiding? Not fixing, not faking, just facing. And when you hear that answer, I want you to write it down. You can write it in the present tense as if it's happening right now, or in the past tense as if it already happened. Either way, it's important that you put pen to paper, because that physical act of writing helps us get out of our heads and into our hearts. Once you have that emotion written down, I want you to read it out loud, really letting the sound of the word resonate within you. If it feels safe to do so, I also invite you to add some movement to this practice. You can dance to your favorite song, you can march in place, you can walk outside, or you can simply breathe deeply while visualizing that emotion leaving your body. For me personally, I love to incorporate movement into this part of the process, because it helps me feel embodied and energized. It also helps me release any tension that I've been holding onto unconsciously. Now, if you're finding this practice difficult, if it's triggering for you to even acknowledge these emotions, please know that it's okay to take things slow. You can spend more time on yesterday's prompt, getting clear on your story and your feelings. Or you can skip ahead to tomorrow's prompt, where we'll talk about how to put all of this into action. The important thing is that you do this work on your own terms, in your own time. There's no need to rush it. The next part of this prompt is to connect with that emotion, really allowing yourself to feel it fully without judgment. You can ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? What sensations am I experiencing? Or you can simply notice without trying to change or fix anything. Sometimes we resist our emotions because we think we need to fix them, but they're already perfect just the way they are. 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 If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths and bring your attention back to your body. Notice what it feels like to be here in this present moment. If you're feeling shaky or tearful, allow yourself to feel those sensations without trying to push them away. If you need to cry, let the tears flow. If you need to scream, let out a primal sound. If you need to move, dance, or shake your body, let it move however it needs to. And if you need to pause, take a break and come back to this when you're ready. The goal here is to create a container of safety and self-compassion so that you can truly connect with your emotions. Once you've spent some time connecting with your emotion, it's time to ask yourself what it needs from you. Maybe it needs to be expressed, maybe it needs to be released, or maybe it just needs to be held. Whatever it needs, make sure you give it to yourself and to others. Remember, we don't need to fix our emotions. We just need to honor them. This might look like writing a letter to someone who's hurt you, even though you never plan on sending it. It might look like making a list of everything you're grateful for, even though you don't need to turn it into anyone. It might look like creating a vision board for your future, even though you don't know exactly how it's going to unfold. The most important thing is that you follow your intuition and do whatever feels right for you in the moment. And finally, hunches, I want you to take a few moments to reflect on what this practice has brought up for you. What emotions have you been avoiding? How have you tried to fix them in the past? And how can you start working with them instead? If you'd like to journal, here are some questions to guide you. If you'd like to reflect silently, just bring your attention to your heart and notice what comes up. In my experience, this is the kind of work that changes everything. When we learn how to work with our emotions instead of against them, we become unstoppable. Stop fighting ourselves, and we start leaning into our true power. Stop running from our feelings, and we start trusting them. We stop judging ourselves for how we feel, and we start accepting ourselves wholeheartedly. And when we do that, amazing things happen. We become more creative, more productive, and more fulfilled. We become better leaders, better collaborators, and better friends. We become more aligned with our purpose, more passionate about our work, and more joyful in our lives. We become more connected to ourselves, and we become more free. Now it's time for you to take this practice out into the world. I invite you to share with us in the comments below one emotion you're ready to honor and commit to showing up for. Let's hold each other accountable, and let's support each other in this process. Also, if you found this practice helpful, please subscribe to our channel and share it with someone else who could benefit from it. We're on a mission to empower 1 million hearts to lead with soul instead of survival. You can help us get there. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about legacy. We're going to explore how our emotions shape our impact and how to use that to our advantage. But for now, I want you to take a few moments to appreciate how far you've already come. You've shown up for yourself in a way that most people never will. You've faced your emotions with courage and compassion. And you've honored your true self with every breath you've taken. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this work. And thank you for trusting the process. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. And now let's move into our final meditation of this course. So let's get into it. Hey, Rise and Thrive Nation, if you liked this practice, you'll love our guided meditations. They're designed to help you feel more connected to yourself, your creativity, and your intuition.